Hey y'all. So I haven't seen you guys in so long. It's been almost a year. And honestly, I don't even know why I'm doing this video right now. The way I feel, as you can see, I'm here in my natural state. I have no makeup on. I haven't retwisted my hair. I'm not even really fully dressed. Okay. The only reason why I'm doing this video is to spread awareness and to help anybody else who's feeling like I'm feeling or going through what I've been going through. I'm not going to get into deep details because it's been so many things happening in my life that I just cannot explain. I don't understand why so many things are happening to me and not happening to me at the same time. I've had seasons of my life where it was just trial after trial, and usually things pan out. And let's just be clear, I have a roof over my head, I have food in the fridge, I have water, I have juice, I have cookies. Like, I can literally go in the kitchen and I'm gonna go and cook me some food because that's literally the only thing that helps me right now. That's the only thing that makes me feel better. Okay? But I will tell y'all, in the last year, I have been let go from 3 jobs. Okay? The first two, it was because they said that I wasn't being productive enough, which is crazy because the first one, I was like literally on the top of our list. Like, I was the most productive in terms of, I do customer service. So I was making all my calls. I was having people even calling in and like complimenting my work, about how helpful I am. People love being on the phone with me. I go the extra mile for customers, anybody I'm talking to. But my attendance, I'm a single mom. My daughter is only 3 and she's never been in a daycare. So all of my jobs have been work from home. And so sometimes I may be a couple minutes late calling some people, but I would still call them. You know what I mean? So technically, I wasn't hitting my appointments. They let me go. Even though I was still meeting the same amount of calls that everybody had to make every day, I was hitting that metric and I had no other issues. The next job let me go. I still don't understand why. We had, the manager tried to say it's because we had a meeting and we were off the phone, which it was 3 people, and one of the person who called the meeting was a supervisor. So it wasn't my fault. I didn't call a meeting. I just participated in the meeting, and my manager tried to use that as a reason. Once I made her privy to what happened and the reason why I was off the phone, um, because she didn't know. She didn't know why all 3 of us had this chunk of time where we weren't on the phone, which was only like 15 minutes, and it was at the end of the day. On top of that, but okay. So I told her like, so and so called this meeting, and I just went in the meeting because she's my supervisor or team lead. Literally the week later, I got let go. Okay. Then I got hired for another job. It was supposed to be contracted out from November to March. Literally, they told us all. They let us all go. It was a temporary position. They let us all go, had a meeting, and told us that the client didn't have enough work for us. So they literally hired me in October. I started in November. No, I started in October. I got hired in September, and they let us go in November. Literally a month job. Since then, I've been applying for jobs and nobody is hiring me. I've never experienced this. I've worked so many jobs in my life, like I can't even count on these 2 hands how many jobs I've had. And I will admit, um, there have been positions that I just didn't I didn't stick it through. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't doing what I really felt passionate about, or I felt for whatever reason. I have had jobs that I could have stuck it through longer. But when you're someone like me who has never had an issue getting a job, you know, it wasn't a problem. I leave a job, I go get another one. Like, whatever. It's okay. It's normal for me. But for the last year, literally, like, people have been reaching out to me, and then I'll send them my resume. They'll say they're going to get back to me. Literally nothing. Nothing. Like, I'm losing my mind. Like, this is so crazy to me. So, I have a few like, I have an I got approved for Uber, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll start driving as an Uber driver. And they need a deposit, as well as, like, however, whatever the fee is. Like, I'm gonna rent for a week at a time, because I literally have a very small income right now. It's embarrassing to even say how much I've been living off of. Like, so, on top of that, 3 months ago, my car, which I had for 4 years, no issues with my car until this year. I got the starter replaced. My brother helped me replace the starter. It was working fine. I'm literally on my way to go and pick my son up from his father's house, and on the way, my car breaks down. An officer pulls up on the side of me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" You know, say, because I'm sitting at the stop sign, literally in the middle of traffic. I cannot move my car. So he pulls up on the side of me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "My car is not working. Like, I can't move." So, thank you to the officer, because he did help me a little bit. He pushed my car, um, and I pushed it even further and parked it at a meter. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm already like feeling like I need a new car, because my car is acting weird. It's like not starting. Even though it's starting, it's taking me like 4 cranks to even get my car to start. The roof is starting to come down. I can't remember what they call it, but the covering of the roof was starting to come down. I ripped that off, because I'm just like, I don't want to be I can't ride around with the roof hanging, the liner hanging. I can't see out my rearview mirror. So now all the yellow stuff underneath, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, the yellow stuff that looks like foam but it's hard, is like exposed in my car. So I'm like, my car was already very old, okay? Probably the oldest car I've had in the last 10 years, but it's okay, because I paid for it. I bought it when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I literally, it was still a Jag, you know what I'm saying, but it was old. um Almost 20 years old. But it was in good condition. I didn't care, because at the time I was still driving that car, and I also had my mom's car. She had shipped it out here, because she was planning on moving, so she shipped the car ahead of time. And so I was going back and forth from a Benz to a Jag. Not bad, right? Even if it's old, it's okay. I'm getting from point A to point B, because I had just while I was pregnant, been working a job, and I was taking the bus, like literally taking the bus an hour away, pregnant, to go back and forth to work. So I was just grateful to have a car. But fast forward 3 years later, I'm just like, wow. Like, you start looking at your life, and you're like, damn, like, I'm making progress, but I'm not making any substantial progress. And for a while, I was just so grateful just to have, because I literally started from nothing. Like, when I got pregnant with my daughter, I relocated from Chicago to Phoenix. And the whole reason why I left is because I had nowhere to live. I was living in an apartment, and I was supposed to take over the lease of that apartment, and that did not work out. So I literally was like living in a hotel for two days, and I just like, I can't do this, because I have my son too. And so we were room on the second day, we were gonna have to room up with other people, and I'm just like, I'm not doing that. So I stayed at my dad's house for a day, literally a day. And then I decided to just, I ended up getting a job in Arizona. So I was like, I'm out of here. I'm just gonna stay with my stepdad in Arizona, work my job. Of course, when I got to Arizona, things was not comfortable at my stepdad's house. Like, literally, I get to my stepdad's house, and he has a, mind you, this is the home that him and my mom shared before they divorced. I get to the house before I left to Chicago, because I was only in Chicago for a year. Um, I left all my stuff in his house. I get back and all my stuff is gone. I had a big old comfortable couch, like nice couch. I had like little things like just little frivolous stuff, but stuff that would have started me off. He gave all my stuff away and didn't even tell me. So I get back to his house, and he has the room set up that I had all my stuff in, and it has a bed, and it's clean, everything looks good and fine. So I'm laying on the bed probably about 3 nights, and the bed is hard, and I'm like, why is this bed so hard? So finally I lift up the sheet, and my stepdad literally had me laying on 2 box springs. Mind you, I'm pregnant. You already know when you're pregnant, and if you don't know when you're pregnant, it takes a lot for you to get comfortable. So that was just the final straw for me. I was like, I cannot do it. So after I ended up sleeping in the other room with my son, because there was another room and it had bunk beds. I ended up sleeping on the bunk bed with my son for like 2 nights. Then my brother helped me out and got me an air mattress, and then I was sleeping on an air mattress. Well, I was in school, so I had a little bit of money left over from school, and I decided to go and get me an Airbnb while I'm working this job, and that's what I did. And literally, I was in the Airbnb for 3 weeks, and during that 3 week time, I found an apartment. Mind you, this is when COVID is going on. This is the year 2020. So I found an apartment. Um, but then COVID happened, and then I had to leave my job because none of the daycares were keeping kids at that time. It's like when COVID had first started out. So I had to literally stay home with my son. So the job understood, but of course I couldn't be rehireable because I had to forfeit my position. But it was okay because now I have a 1 bedroom apartment, luxury apartment too. It was just me and my son, so we were able. It was enough room for us. I was still working. I was getting overtime at my job at the time. I bought my car. We had a nice apartment too, amenities, 3 swimming pools and on the facility, fitness room, the works. Like we were good. And then the home that I'm in now, fast forward, I stayed there almost 2 years. And then my friend lived here before, and she bought a house, and she had a few months left on her lease, and she offered me to sublease so that she wouldn't have to pay her mortgage and rent here. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, because at the time, by that time, my daughter was born. She was almost 2. No, actually, I only stayed in that apartment for about a year because my daughter had her first birthday right before we moved here. So um now we're in a 3 bedroom house. I got space. My brother ended up moving in with me. He needed somewhere to go. I let him come in and live with me. We were doing good. Then my mom needed a place to live. I let her come in and live with me. But literally, when my mom came, my brother felt like it wasn't enough space and he left. Then my mom left. Then she came back, and then she left again. Okay, fine. It's your life. Do what you want to do. But literally, I'm saying this and giving y'all the history just to let y'all know the type of person I am. Like, um, if I can extend myself to you, I will help you. I will help you. You know what I'm saying? But I have, and probably since I've had my daughter, learned to have some boundaries. So I did have one cousin who wanted to move in with me, and I told her she could come here, but she could not bring all her furniture, because at the time my mom was here. Actually, my mom had just left again, but she still had some of her stuff here. There was literally no room for her furniture. My cousin stopped talking to me. Like, I literally still have not talked to her. Still to this day. She just stopped talking to me. Okay. Well, whatever. But it's been so many other things in between that. Like, it's been so much. And like, I am just at a point, I've always tried to be very positive and be optimistic and, be that one person, encouraging people. You can do it, anything you put your mind to, you know. But this last year, when I tell you, doors are not opening up for me. And if they are, I just don't see it. And it is so frustrating because, people will ask you, how are you doing? And you want to be honest and you want to tell them the truth. I'm not doing okay. But then, nobody really wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel. Nobody really want to hear if you're doing bad. They're going to immediately be like, pick yourself up, snap out of it. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? And I agree. That's why every negative thought, still, even now, I'm feeling so negative. I'm feeling so like drained. I want to give up so bad. Like, I just really want to give up on this life. Like, I don't feel like I'm living in my purpose. I don't see anything happening for me. I've been operating in fear. Like, I had chances to do things with my money that would probably have had me in a better situation up until here, because I had invested into a business group, which I really, really love this business group. And I just literally didn't follow the steps that I was supposed to follow. And now it is literally biting me in the butt. Like, I'm just like looking back over all my bad decisions and I'm just asking God why. And it's like almost to the point where I am questioning if God can even hear me right now, if my prayers are even being heard. Like, I'm literally fighting back tears right now because I don't recognize myself. Like, as y'all can see, I don't care to put on no makeup. I don't even have no cute clothes really to even put on for y'all for these videos. Like, I am literally barely making it. Okay? But I have all these things that I want to do. And I'm just teeter tottering between faith and not fear, but like just questioning, what is this all about? I don't understand. I don't understand. And I just want to say, if you're feeling like me, just know the only thing that I can say in this video is I understand. You're not the only one going through this tough time. And I just been feeling called to get on here and share my testimony. And I think I'm gonna start doing some story times because I've been reflecting over my life and I really have made it through a lot of crazy situations, like crazy, crazy shit. Um, and so because it has been worse for me, um, I'm holding on, and I know that things could turn around. Like, I've seen how things could turn around, but I am literally all out of options. Like, what do you do? That's I want to ask y'all. Like, what do you do when nothing is working? Like, people say, "Oh, put your money here, save a little bit." What do you do when you don't even have any money to save? What do you do when you're trying to get a job and nobody will hire you? What do you do when you make great connections but then these people don't want to help you? It's like, I started this channel to be a light and to provide a safe space, and I'm gonna end this video. But I just, if you're feeling like this, like feeling like giving up and feeling like you're the, like, am I the only one going through this? Like, you look around and you see everybody else seems to be making some progress, making some traction, you know. And then when it's your turn to speak, it's like, I'm literally at the point where I don't want to talk to nobody, because if you ask me how I'm doing, if you ask me anything, it's going to trigger me and I'm going to be sad and I'm going to be emotional and I'm going to just go down this rabbit hole to where I am so isolated right now. I only be around my kids. Like, I don't be around nobody else. I don't talk on the phone. I don't have no friends. I don't have a love life. Like, I'm literally So all I can say is this video is to let anybody else know that maybe feeling like I'm feeling, that you're not alone. And I hope that that's enough to give you some hope, you know. So I'll be back with a story time and I'll keep y'all updated. um I'm gonna go eat some food because that's the only thing that makes me feel better.